Imagine a car that bridges 6 decades of automotive history, a machine that takes the soul of 1964 and merges it with the technology of 2025. That's exactly what the reborn 1964 Porsche 911 delivers. In front of us today, we have it in a stunning sand color finish, subtle, classy, and timeless. This is not just a car, it's an emotional time machine, a modern reimagining of the legend that started Porsche's dynasty. The 911's legacy is unmatched, from its air-cooled roots to the modern twin-turbo performance monsters we know today, but this 2025 reinterpretation pays homage to the very first 911 in a way that will make purists smile and tech lovers nod with approval. In this full review, we'll dive deep into every detail, the exterior design that honors history, the interior that blends nostalgia with cutting-edge technology, the performance that mixes modern engineering with classic driving feel, and of course, the price you'll need to pay to own a piece of history in 2025. So, buckle up, because this review is going to take you on a journey that's part car review, part history lesson, and entirely passionate about the Porsche 911. Exterior. The first thing you notice when looking at the 1964 Porsche 911, 2025, is how it manages to be both familiar and futuristic. At first glance, you could mistake it for a perfectly restored original, but step closer and the subtle changes reveal themselves. The sand color paintwork is spectacular, not loud, but incredibly rich, with a soft metallic sheen that reflects light like a fine champagne. It's a color that feels authentically 60s yet perfectly at home in 2025. The body retains the iconic long hood, short rear deck, and perfectly round headlights that defined the first 911. Those headlights, though, are now full LED matrix units cleverly disguised behind classic-style glass domes, a perfect blend of old-school design and modern safety. The chrome bumpers are slim and beautifully polished, but with hidden impact absorption built into the structure. The wheel arches have just the right amount of muscle, housing 18-inch Fuchs-inspired alloy wheels with a polished lip and black spokes, wrapped in modern performance rubber for better grip. Around the back, the rear engine cover still wears that classic horizontal vent pattern, but now it hides a modern cooling system. The simple, slender tail lights have been reimagined with LED internals, keeping the classic proportions intact while improving visibility. Even the single, centered exhaust pipe is a nod to the past, though it's part of a far more advanced exhaust system than anything from 1964. From every angle, this car oozes charm. It doesn't look like a replica or a restomod that's trying too hard, it looks like Porsche itself decided to re-release the original 911, just better in every measurable way. Interior. Open the lightweight door and step inside, and the retro magic continues. The cabin greets you with an intoxicating smell of premium leather, just like classic cars used to have. The seats are trimmed in a beautiful two-tone combination, sand-colored leather with black contrast piping, echoing Porsche interiors from the mid-60s. They have a classic low-back silhouette but hide modern adjustable bolsters, heating, ventilation, and memory functions within. The dashboard layout is pure 1964, 5 circular dials, a thin-rimmed steering wheel with the Porsche crest in the center, and a horizontal dash top with chrome trim. But look closer, and you'll see the craftsmanship and technology have been completely updated. The gauges are now crisp digital displays designed to mimic the look of mechanical needles and odometers. At a glance, they look completely analog, but they can switch to show navigation, performance data, or driver assistance info when needed. The center console is discreet, with a hidden 8-inch touchscreen that only appears when you tap the dash, keeping the clean, uncluttered look intact when you're just enjoying the drive. There's wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a premium Burmester sound system, and even a voice assistant, but all subtly integrated so nothing feels out of place. Every surface is finished with tactile, high-quality materials, hand-stitched leather, real brushed aluminum, and genuine wood veneer along the dash that has been treated for durability. The air vents have the classic slider controls but are connected to a modern climate control system. Even the manual-style gear lever, yes, you can get this car with a 6-speed manual, is machined from a single piece of aluminum, giving every shift a satisfying weight and click. This is an interior that makes you smile every time you sit in it. It feels intimate, nostalgic, and yet there's no sacrifice in comfort or convenience. It's the kind of place you'd happily spend hours behind the wheel. Performance. Here's where things get truly fascinating. Under the rear deck lid sits a thoroughly modern flat-six engine, but tuned to deliver the kind of character that early 911s were famous for. In standard form, it's a naturally aspirated 3.0-liter boxer producing around 400 horsepower, almost 3 times the power of the original 1964 model, and it revs freely to over 8,000 RPM. Porsche engineers have tuned the throttle response to be razor-sharp, and the exhaust note is a rich, mechanical wail that's as much music as it is machinery. You can choose between a 6-speed manual gearbox for the purists, or Porsche's lightning-fast PDK dual-clutch transmission for those who want maximum performance. Power goes to the rear wheels only, staying true to the original formula. The car weighs just over 1,200 kilograms thanks to extensive use of aluminium and carbon fiber, so acceleration is blistering, 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.9 seconds, with a top speed of around 190 miles per hour. But this car isn't about numbers alone, it's about feel. The steering is electrically assisted but tuned to mimic the feedback of the original's manual rack. The suspension is fully modern with adaptive dampers, but the settings have been dialed in to give a playful, communicative ride rather than an overly stiff one. It corners flat and grips hard, but you can still feel the rear engine balance shifting as you push through a corner, just like the 60s 911, only now with far more control and safety. Modern tech like stability control, ABS, and torque vectoring are all present, but they're tuned to be unobtrusive. You can even turn most of them off if you want the pure, raw experience. And yes, Porsche offers an optional sport exhaust system that makes this thing sound like a mechanical symphony every time you press the throttle. Prices. All this engineering excellence and craftsmanship doesn't come cheap. The 1964 Porsche 911, 2025, starts at around $300,000. And that's before you start adding Porsche's famously tempting options list. Custom paint colors, bespoke leather trims, upgraded audio, and performance packages can easily push the price north of $350,000. For collectors, there's also a limited, heritage edition, with even more authentic period-correct details and exclusive badging, priced closer to $400,000. Is it expensive? Absolutely. But for many buyers, this isn't just a car, it's a rolling piece of art, a piece of Porsche history reimagined for the modern age. And with production numbers likely kept low, it's almost certain to become a highly sought-after collectible that holds its value, or even appreciates, over time. So, who is this car for? It's for the enthusiast who wants the look, feel, and romance of the very first Porsche 911, but without the compromises of a 60-year-old machine. It's for the driver who wants to wake up every morning knowing their car is both a vintage icon and a cutting-edge sports machine. As I stand here looking at this sand-colored masterpiece, I can't help but feel that Porsche has done something truly special. They've built a bridge across time, one that lets us enjoy the golden era of motoring with the reliability, safety, and thrill of the present day. And in a world where cars are becoming more like gadgets, this one is a pure, heartfelt reminder of why we fell in love with driving in the first place.